Fucking hell, man. Jeez. Let me know if you guys are there. I just started the live. Wow. What a disgrace. All right, I'm going to wait. There we go. All right. So, man, where to even begin? Ladies and gentlemen, the power of friendship, no tactics. We look like a team that has no manager. That's what Real Madrid looks like right now. We look like a team without a manager. Like it's literally people are just don't know what they're doing. Everybody on the pitch is lost. And it's so bad. I can't remember the last time Real Madrid has looked this bad in a season where we just got Mbappe. We won the Champions League. We lost one guy. There can't be this big of a, you can't be this bad just because you lost one guy. You can't blame it on one player. Like Cruz is an all-time great. He controls the game. He controls the midfield, but you can't put this on him. This is pretty disgusting, man. I mean, I have a list of things I want to go through. All right. So let's first talk about the fact that like we just lost at home to Barcelona 4-0. Okay. So you lose at home to Barcelona. Okay. You have a huge window of rest and recovery where the game at Valencia got canceled. So you had time to reflect and prepare. And if any of you guys watched that press conference before this game, Carlo Ancelotti said some pretty troubling things. I paid attention to it. I pay very close attention to these press conferences. And I listened to what Carlo Ancelotti says. A couple of times people ask him questions. They're like, what are your thoughts on this game? And he responded by saying the devastation in Valencia. We're all devastated what happened in Valencia. But it's your job as the manager of this team to get these guys focused and prepared for the next game to go out there and try to kill AC Milan. I'm so I feel bad about what happened in Valencia. This is like it's terrible. It's the worst disaster in Spain in over 200 years, and our hearts go out to all the people who lost their lives, who lost their homes. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to downplay that. I'm not trying to sit here and be like downplaying that. We sincerely, don't, our thoughts and prayers are with those people. But you, the manager, Carlo, you're in charge of these group of guys. You got to get them focused and ready. And you were saying some things that were pretty troubling to me before this game. You were saying things to me like, who can think about football in a moment like this? You can't. If you're thinking like that, what are the players going to think? What are the players in the team going to think when the manager himself is not focused and he's thinking about what's happening somewhere else? You don't think that affects the team? Now, today's performance is not all down to Carlo Ancelotti. Yes, he's the biggest reason why we lost today. There's no question about that. Carlo Ancelotti is the biggest reason why we didn't win this game, and his tactics and the lack of tactics, I should say. Like we can't blame this on anybody but Carlo Ancelotti. But individual mistakes. Tchouaméni, what are you doing? I noticed the boos. I heard the boos. First of all, he should have won that header. When we signed Tchouaméni, that was one of the biggest things one of the biggest reasons why we signed Tchouaméni was because of how strong he was aerially, is because he was so good at heading the ball. That was literally one of the biggest reasons. He was leading Europe in aerial duels won. Not to mention his distribution of the ball he was in the highest percentile. The idea was you'd have a more press resistant, a better replacement to Casemiro, a guy who'd come in, and we didn't have to have Modric and Kroos drop so deep and push Casemiro high up the pitch because you would, in theory, have a guy who's more press resistant, better with the ball at his feet. And both things you didn't do tonight. Tchouaméni, the standards at Real Madrid are high. We don't accept players coming to this football club and doing shit like that. That shit is not acceptable here at Real Madrid. The tides can turn against you very quickly here. That shit is like a lack of focus, and he does lose focus in games quite often. Let's talk about that. Now, let's not all just rag on Chouameni, but let's talk about Mbappe. Okay, Mbappe, when we had Benzema and Vinny were linking up beautifully. Okay, Benzema was a more traditional number 9, but he was occupying that center striker role and he was shifting out to the left. They were linking up. It was working. Now I'm seeing Mbappe is on the right-hand side. Like, why is Mbappe all the way to the right? And you could tell a few times in transition, the guy's not comfortable. Why is he not drifting out into the left side? Why is he not interchanging with Vinicius? Why is this guy? Look at the way Vinny demands the ball. Mbappe is not doing that. He's not comfortable. And he's not getting any clear-cut chances. He's taking shots from way outside the box. This shit is terrible. Okay, so the first half, Vinny is playing in a more he's not playing all the way wide out into the left. So basically, Milan was playing with a back 5. And Carlo asked Vinny, hey, don't hug the touch line, play a little bit more in the middle. So in a game like that, you're at home. Why not play for Fran Garcia? Mendy's been in bad form this season. You need a guy who's going to create more space for Vinny, who's going to bomb down the line a little bit more like Fran Garcia will. Why not play Fran Garcia? Where's Arda Güler? Is he still playing at Real Madrid? Where's Arda? No, seriously, has anybody seen Arda? I just want to confirm that Arda is still like a Real Madrid player. Please let me know. Has anybody seen Arda? What the fuck is going on at Real Madrid right now? This shit is terrible, man. Terrible. And why are we trying to press the ball? Carlo, you've never been a pressing manager. What are you doing, man? Why are you trying to press the ball? Explain this to me. I'm genuinely curious as to why you're trying to press the ball, man. You know what you do when you try to press the ball? You're leaving so much space in behind the players who are trying to press. That shit is not working. Let that shit go. Stop. Just stop. At what point do you adapt and start changing some things? And you take Valverde off, you bring on Brahim Diaz, and what? Brahim Diaz is supposed to work defensively to cover that space that Valverde typically does? You think you can bring Brahim Diaz in and put him where Valverde was playing, and you ask him to cover that defensive half space? Is that what the tactic was right there, Carlo Ancelotti? I mean, what is going on here, man? What is literally going on here? Barcelona beat us with some youth team players, right? They had these young kids who came to Real Madrid. Why are these guys not fighting more? You being a Real Madrid player, this is the biggest honor a player can ever have. But I'm not seeing that full commitment from these guys. And more importantly, that comes from the top. Carlo Ancelotti, it's not working right now. Let me just make sure that I covered all of my the notes that I wrote down here. Sorry, this shit is upsetting. I'm trying to get to some of these comments in the chat. I know some of you guys in the chat are telling me that Carlo out, but like, man, to me, Carlo Ancelotti, I see that every year around this time, it's the same thing. Carlo Ancelotti, we don't look good. He turns around, we win big titles. But even a guy like Courtois, for example, do you know how many times Courtois has masked how bad we are as a team? Because he's come up with insane saves that no keeper in the world would save, essentially. And now you don't have Courtois. So you don't have somebody covering up how bad you are. You know what I mean? Rodrigo. Okay, Rodrigo doesn't start, which I don't agree with. Rodrigo, you see when Rodrigo comes in, how good of a player he is. So underrated. He doesn't get the love and respect he deserves. So Rodrigo not only doesn't start, he's not even the first player to come off the bench. How does that make sense? You take Valverde off. How does that make sense? Like, the whole thing doesn't work. We asked, play Jude Bellingham higher up the pitch. You play Jude Bellingham as a left winger, basically. How many positions has Jude Bellingham played this season? What is going on here? Play Jude Bellingham behind Mbappe and Vinny. Just play him higher up the pitch. You need that physical presence to be more central. You need a guy who's going to crash the box, who's going to try to attack, who's going to try to play in a more advanced position. So, man, if Leao was actually a half decent striker, if Rafael Leao was actually a half decent player, we would have gotten smashed tonight. We would have gotten smashed. If Leao was actually a decent player, we would have gotten smashed. Leao is garbage. A couple of you guys told me before the game, Leao is. I remember Wayne said that. Wayne, I remember you said that. You said Leao is garbage, and you're right. I know he helped score that second goal. He had that turn, but man, if we face a top elite, uh, forward in this game, we would have got it. It would have even been worse. But what's like Arda Güler, Hendrick, these young guys, these hungry guys that are fucking, they kill to have a few minutes on the pitch. Nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. Why not give the guys who would die for the badge, who are literally, they would do anything to play a minute for Real Madrid? Camavinga. Why? Camavinga has no business sitting on the bench ever. Never. Camavinga, when he's fit, you play Camavinga. I'm sorry. You just have to find a way to play Cama. I don't even care if it's a left back. But you need a guy like that. You don't have anybody with the quality of Camavinga to do what he does. So again, stop trying to press the ball high up the pitch. Play Arda Güler, play some of these other players. Fix. I don't know if Carlo Ancelotti is the man who can fix this. I honestly don't. And I think it's Real Madrid as a football club needs to start thinking about like how bad can things get. Because Carlo Ancelotti, I'm afraid about like how bad the season can get right now. We were thinking to ourselves, okay, if this guy loses us the league, but at least we don't get humiliated in the Champions League, then that's acceptable to let him see out the rest of the season. But at this point, it's like, do we even make it to the top 8 of the Champions League? Or are we going to have to go through that playoff stage and then let's say we get knocked out or whatever? Sporting just beat Manchester City. The Champions League is filled with a bunch of quality teams, and there's no saying that we're going to win the rest of our games. So, yeah. So let me just take the super chat. Ancelotti out. I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable. I agree. I think, look, man, the truth of the matter is, who are you going to get right now as the manager at Real Madrid to take over immediately? I do agree that Carlo Ancelotti next season should not be the manager of Real Madrid. But to me, you have to wait until Xabi Alonso is available in the summer. That's what I think. Because who are you going to get temporary to fill for the rest of the season? You need to let Carlo Ancelotti see out the rest of the season, and then you bring on Xabi Alonso. What is that, Wayne? You're saying like mid-season, how is that reasonable? Who did you see Tchouaméni played? Hear me out. Raul Gonzalez until we get Alonso. Raul, all right. So the thing is with Raul, from the sources that I've heard, Raul is not doing as well with the Castilla this season. So he's doing worse than Zinedine Zidane did with Castilla. So if you're going to have Raul come and take over as the manager of Real Madrid, then you need to make sure that it's a guy who can be a steward for the club and make sure that they're better than what they are now. And it's like, as bad as Carlo is, do we just, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, how bad can it get if we let him see out the season? Like, do we just concede the fact that we're not going to win a big title this season? Like, is that where we're at? Like, I genuinely don't know the answer to this question, but I do know that if we have Raul take over as the manager at Real Madrid and he does a worse job than Carlo Ancelotti, then we're not in a good position. To me, so far, it seems like waiting until Xabi Alonso is available in the summer is the right answer. I'm going to take a couple of these chats as well, just to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. Ten Hag. No, hell no. No Ten Hag. Ten Hag. Come on, man. Need someone who can detect play like Toni Kroos. Absolutely. Florian Wirtz. I mean, I know that that's the guy we're linked with, but we need a guy who can play in a deeper position to control the tempo a little bit more. I know that's what Carlo intended to do with Modric. Modric didn't have the best game today. And again, we have a guy in our football club Turkish guy, amazing. Maybe we try him out, you know? If he still plays at Real Madrid. Nobody's seen him. Nobody's seen Arda. Nobody's seen Endrick. Nobody knows if they still play at Real Madrid. Yeah, this feels like the 2014-2015 season. It does feel that way. But anyways, man, Tchouaméni today, Paul Pogba, man, I just saw that in the chat. Paul Pogba, man, I love Pogba. I'm a huge Pogba fan. I know some people hate on Pogba, but he's such a high quality player, man, and he's such a good ball playing midfielder as well. Pogba is so underrated. People hate on him so much because they say that he's overhyped, but I love Pogba so much. But it's a Pogba-esque type player who would improve this team drastically. But what is clear is Carlo is not the right guy to manage this group of players. He's just not. And the only question is mid-season, or do we wait until the summer to let Carlo Ancelotti go? So anyways, that's all I gotta say. Zidane, I like Zidane. Let's see what's up with Xabi Alonso first. Let's see what's up with Xabi Alonso, because Xabi Alonso looks like a revolutionary manager. And the thing I like about Xabi Alonso is he's played under Jose Mourinho, he's played under Pep Guardiola, he's played under Carlo, he's played in England, he's played in Spain and Germany. When you have those managers who've played in the Bundesliga, they played in La Liga, they played in the Premier League, they have experience being managed by top class managers, they turn out to be really excellent managers. And he has the temperament. He's a Madridista. He was there for La Decima. So he has a lot of the qualities we look for in a top coach. So that's why I think he's the right guy to move this club forward. But the idea was, man, hopefully Carlo was able to take us at least until the end of the season, give us a respectable season. Not last season, we went the whole season undefeated at the Bernabéu. The whole season, we were undefeated at the Bernabéu. And this season, I ran the numbers. We've lost 36% of our games this season. I don't know if you guys knew this stat, but we have lost 36% of our games this season. It's been 12 games. We've lost 3 out of 12. You guys do the numbers. Real Madrid, what the hell is going on here, man? Carlo Ancelotti, this team is way too good to be losing to a 7th team. The AC Milan is 7th in the Serie A, bro. That's who you're losing to at home, in front of our stadium, our fans. Like, what are you doing, man? But yeah, I'm on the Carlo out train as well. I'm not a reactionary person. I love this football club. Today was my day off because we have an election here in the US. So I was thinking, man, I'm going to watch my football club or get a win, start to get back to winning ways at home at the Bernabéu. And then we lose against a team that's 7th in the Serie A. What the fuck is this shit? Anyways, man, that's all I got, man. Yeah, we won't qualify for the knockouts like this. We're gonna have to go to the playoffs and then God knows what, and then late comeback, some bullshit. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys. I'll try to. I got a couple of videos coming out that I've been working on quite a bit that I think will be interesting. So let's just hope the guys can turn it around, man. Some of the players also need to take accountability. Tchouaméni, you play for the greatest club in the world. It's an honor for you to play at Real Madrid. Clean this shit up. Focus. Stop missing headers inside the box. Stop turning the ball over like an idiot like that. What are you doing, man? Tchouaméni, it's not good enough. But it shouldn't be all down to Tchouaméni. It's down to the manager first and foremost. But it's true that a lot of these players need to be held accountable as well. In the Clasico, Vinny, you missed some big chances. Mbappe, you've been trashed since you've come to Real Madrid. I'm sorry to say that. I want to see you succeed, Mbappe. You play for us now. You're a Madridista. We want to see you succeed. I don't want to see you fail. But it also hasn't been that good enough. But that's also down to the manager to put you in positions where you can succeed. But right now, it doesn't look to me that you, Mbappe, are being put in situations where you can succeed. It looks like you're being set up to fail. That's what I see. I see a world-class player that's not being put in positions where he can succeed. And that's not all down to Mbappe. That's also down to Carlo to allow him to give him the confidence and position him in a way where he can succeed. And that's not happening. So anyways, I love all you guys. I appreciate it. And Hala Madrid, we'll be back. We'll be back. Real Madrid, you can never count them out. So That's all I got. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hala Madrid.